Assess your surroundings immediately after the time machine crash. You have only minutes before shock sets in. Check yourself for injuries first. Even minor cuts can become lethal in this prehistoric environment without treatment. You must quickly gather any surviving equipment from the wreckage. The Eocene environment is hostile and tools are essential. Move at least 100 meters from the crash site. Ancient predators will investigate the disturbance within minutes. Your modern clothing offers little protection against the intense Eocene heat. You need to find shade within 30 minutes. Look for large, leafy plants or rock outcroppings. The global temperature is 10 degrees Celsius warmer than your era. You must locate water within 3 hours. The intense humidity means you'll dehydrate faster than in modern conditions. Search for natural depressions in the ground. The frequent Eocene rainfall creates temporary water collection points. Test any water you find by checking for insect life and plant growth around it. Stagnant pools can harbor deadly bacteria. Your knife and flint are crucial tools. Guard them carefully. You cannot survive long without the ability to make fire. Construct a basic shelter using your tarp and local vegetation. The Eocene experiences sudden, violent rainstorms. You need to elevate your sleeping area. The ground hosts prehistoric insects that could prove dangerous. Gather dry plant material quickly. The humid climate will soon make fire-starting materials too damp to use. Create a fire pit surrounded by stones. The light and smoke will deter many of the smaller predators. You must stay alert for large mammals. The Eocene hosts predecessors of modern carnivores that hunt in groups. Listen for sounds of moving water. Flowing streams are safer water sources than standing pools. Your compass will help prevent walking in circles, but magnetic north may differ from your era. Identify edible plants by comparing them to modern relatives. Many Eocene species are ancestors of today's fruits. Avoid brightly colored insects and amphibians. Toxic defense mechanisms were common in this epoch. You should establish a daily routine within 24 hours. Psychological stability is as important as physical survival. Mark your territory with smoke signals and ground markers. Other time travelers may be searching for survivors. Remember that every modern survival technique must be adapted. The Eocene atmosphere has higher oxygen levels. Your fire will burn hotter and faster than expected. Carefully control your fuel supply to maintain sustainable flames. Keep your shelter entrance facing east. The intense Eocene sun can make south-facing openings dangerously hot. You must create backup tools immediately. Your modern equipment could fail in these extreme conditions. Build multiple water collection systems. The frequent rains provide opportunities for gathering clean water. Watch for signs of ancient primate species. They may exhibit territorial behavior toward unfamiliar beings. Your survival depends on adapting quickly. Modern instincts may not match Eocene threats and opportunities. Document your surroundings and survival techniques. Future rescue teams will need this information to find you. Remember that plant and animal behavior patterns differ from modern times. Observe before interacting. Your immediate priority is finding shelter from the intense Eocene heat that can quickly cause fatal heat stroke. Scan your surroundings for large rock formations or dense vegetation clusters that can provide natural shade coverage. You must establish your base camp within 2 hours of crash landing. The tropical climate means sudden rainstorms can occur. Look for elevated ground to prevent flooding. The Eocene had frequent extreme weather events that could wash away your camp. Your survival pack's tarp will be essential. Create a diagonal shelter facing away from prevailing winds. You need to secure the tarp at a 45-degree angle using your rope and any sturdy vegetation or rocks available. Water is your next critical concern. The Eocene atmosphere was more humid, but finding safe drinking sources is challenging. You must collect morning dew using your tarp. Angle it to channel moisture into a container before sunrise. Create a solar still immediately. Dig a 3-foot hole, place your container in the center, cover with the tarp. The intense Eocene heat will accelerate condensation in your solar still, providing clean water within 4 to 6 hours. Never drink directly from standing water sources. The ancient bacteria could be deadly to your modern immune system. You must purify all water by boiling for at least 10 minutes. The higher CO2 levels affect water's boiling point. Fire is essential but challenging in the humid environment. Gather 3 types of tinder while it's still dry. Use your flint striker away from your shelter. The Eocene atmosphere had higher oxygen levels, making fires spread rapidly. You must maintain a constant fire. The unusual predators of this epoch are deterred by flames and smoke. Create a rescue signal pattern using 3 fires in a triangle, each 50 feet apart for aerial visibility. Your compass will help maintain direction, but be aware that magnetic poles were different in the Eocene epoch. Keep your knife accessible at all times. The local fauna is unfamiliar with humans and may be unexpectedly aggressive. Treat any cuts or scrapes immediately. The ancient bacteria in this time period could cause severe infections. You should clean wounds with boiled water and cover them with stripped inner bark from trees for basic protection. Monitor the sun's position carefully. You have approximately 14 hours of daylight due to the Earth's different rotation. Construct a perimeter alarm system using your rope and attach vegetation to alert you of approaching creatures. You must elevate your sleeping area at least 4 feet off the ground. Many Eocene predators were excellent climbers. Save energy during peak heat hours. The temperature could reach 95 degrees Fahrenheit even at the poles during this epoch. Store purified water in shade-protected areas. The intense heat can cause rapid evaporation of your supplies. You should maintain a daily log of your surroundings. Note any patterns in animal movement or weather changes. Create backup shelter locations within a 500-yard radius of your main camp in case you need to relocate quickly. Remember that familiar plant species may be toxic in their Eocene forms. Avoid eating any vegetation. Your modern clothing will deteriorate quickly in the intense UV radiation. Create backup protection from large leaves. Keep your tools organized and easily accessible. You cannot afford to lose any modern equipment in this time period. Check your shelter integrity every 4 hours. The unusual atmospheric conditions can degrade materials rapidly. You must ration your supplies carefully. Focus on water conservation as your highest priority for survival. Watch for signs of temporal distortion that could signal rescue. Modern technology may detect your location. Your survival depends on maintaining strict discipline with these protocols until rescue arrives. Establish a permanent shelter now that immediate survival needs are met. Your cave base needs organization. Create distinct zones in your cave dwelling. Sleeping area, food storage, and waste disposal must be separated. Your survival depends on maintaining strict hygiene. Even in prehistoric times, bacteria and parasites can kill. Fashion storage containers from large palm fronds. You'll need these to keep food away from ancient insects. Set up a smoke filtration system near the cave entrance using layers of green vegetation to reduce respiratory risks. You must identify safe food sources within a 1-mile radius of your shelter. Learn local plant patterns. Test new plants using the universal edibility test. Touch to lips, wait 3 hours. Touch to tongue, wait 8 hours. Remember that modern plants evolved from ancient ones. Look for familiar patterns in leaves and fruits. Create fishing tools from vines and sharpened bones. Prehistoric fish are larger and more abundant than modern ones. You need to establish a daily routine. Structure helps maintain mental stability in survival situations. Wake at dawn, check water supplies, inspect shelter defenses, and gather food before the intense midday heat. Fashion primitive weapons for defense. Sharpen hardwood into spears and practice throwing them accurately. Your knowledge of modern survival skills must adapt. These prehistoric predators haven't learned to fear humans. Create noisemakers from hollow logs and stones to ward off curious ancient mammals. Set up multiple escape routes from your cave. Prehistoric predators could trap you without warning. Maintain a constant fire. The smoke keeps insects away and marks your location for potential rescue. Learn to read prehistoric weather patterns. The Eocene had extreme storms and rapid temperature changes. Build elevated food storage platforms. Prehistoric insects could devour a week's worth of food overnight. You must master fire starting with minimal tools. Your modern flint will eventually wear out. Practice primitive fire making using friction methods. You'll need this skill within 2 months. Create backup water collection systems. Use large leaves to funnel rainwater into natural rock basins. Your survival depends on avoiding infection. Even small cuts can become lethal without modern medicine. Keep wounds clean with boiled water and wrap them with smoke-treated plant fibers to prevent infection. Fashion tools for hunting smaller prey. Throwing sticks and snares work on prehistoric mammals. You need to establish multiple caches of supplies within a 5-mile radius of your base camp. Create detailed maps of your surroundings using charcoal on flat bark. Mark water sources and danger zones. Learn to track prehistoric animals. Their behaviors are similar to modern descendants, but more aggressive. Your mental health requires maintaining hope. Keep a daily log of activities using charcoal marks. Practice primitive communication methods. Future rescue teams might need visual signals to find you. Create large ground signals using rocks and logs that can be seen from high altitudes. You must maintain physical fitness. Develop exercise routines using natural resources as weights. Remember that survival is temporary. Focus on one day at a time while preparing for long-term scenarios. Your knowledge of modern animals helps predict prehistoric behavior. Watch for familiar patterns. Create backup shelters in case you must abandon your cave. Have at least 3 alternative locations ready. Monitor your health daily. Check for unusual symptoms that could indicate exposure to prehistoric pathogens. You need to develop preservation techniques for meat and plants. Smoking and drying are essential skills. Fashion containers for water storage from large gourds or hollow tree sections. Treat them with smoke. Your future rescue depends on staying near your crash site. Mark your daily travel routes clearly. Remember that time travel physics might affect rescue attempts. Maintain signals indefinitely. Create a calendar system using marks on cave walls. Track the passing of days to maintain temporal awareness. You must adapt to prehistoric day-night cycles. The Eocene had different seasonal patterns than modern Earth. Learn to read the prehistoric night sky. Different star patterns could help with navigation. Your survival depends on balancing immediate needs with long-term planning. Think in terms of seasons. Notice your equipment beginning to fail. The quantum stabilizer's hum grows weaker, its lights dimming ominously. You must conserve what little power remains in your survival gear. Switch off all non-essential systems immediately. Check your remaining supplies. Half-empty water bottle, frayed rope, dulled knife. Resources are critically low now. Gather what edible plants you can find near your shelter. The ancient ferns and cycads may be your last reliable food source. Your muscles ache from days of survival. Rest frequently to conserve energy, but stay alert for approaching dangers. Watch the prehistoric sky darken, knowing each sunset brings you further from your own time, deeper into this ancient world. Listen to the strange calls of ancient birds and early mammals. Their sounds are becoming familiar, almost comforting now. Your shelter needs reinforcing as equipment fails. Use fallen palm fronds and vines to strengthen walls against the elements. Collect morning dew with your tarp while you still can. Soon the synthetic fabric will deteriorate in the harsh conditions. Your knife blade shows concerning signs of rust. Clean it carefully with sand and oil from tropical nuts to preserve it. Document your observations in the soil with a stick. Future paleontologists may someday find your notes in stone. The compass spins erratically now. Magnetic poles different in this epoch. Trust the stars and sun for navigation. Your rope is unraveling strand by strand. Salvage the fibers to make smaller cordage for essential tools. Notice how your body has adapted. Stronger, leaner, more attuned to this prehistoric environment with each passing day. The ancient air feels thick with oxygen, making you lightheaded. Rest often in the shade of giant ferns. Your flint sparks are growing weaker. Preserve your fire carefully. It may be your last connection to human technology. Watch massive insects buzz through the humid air. Their size no longer startles you as it did in those first days. Your tarp is developing tears from the intense UV radiation. Move your shelter beneath the dense canopy for protection. Feel the strange peace that comes with acceptance. This ancient world has become your home now. The stars wheel overhead in unfamiliar patterns, yet their eternal dance brings comfort in your solitude. Your thoughts drift less often to rescue now. The prehistoric Earth has claimed you as its own. Listen to the night sounds of this ancient ecosystem. They sing you to sleep like a prehistoric lullaby. The warmth of your dying fire reflects in your eyes as you contemplate your place in this primordial world. Watch the ancient dawn paint the sky in familiar colors. Some things remain constant across millions of years. Your journey through time ends here, beneath these strange stars in this beautiful and terrible ancient world.